Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Life with Amadchique. And today we will be talking about Planned Parenthood. 10 things, when I say 10 things the Planned Parenthood near you can do for you. We are going to debunk the myths surrounding Planned Parenthood and just set the record straight. Personally, I have used Planned Parenthood and I went to them for birth control in the past. And, the media or the government or politics have found a way to, make Planned Parenthood the poster child for abortion. But Planned Parenthood, they do a whole lot more stuff than abortions or whatever out there that people see them as for. So I will tell you things today that maybe you didn't know or maybe you were aware of, but I just want to set the record straight. So let's get into it. Do you know Planned Parenthood does annual well woman exams? When I talk about annual well woman exams, a lot of you are used to going to your to your OBGYNs and doing your annual exams, doing your pap smears, getting your mammograms done, getting your breast exams done. These services are provided at Planned Parenthood. Usually Planned Parenthood patients are usually people that are self-pay or usually patients that are sponsored by the government Medicaid or the state, usually state government Medicaid patients. They get their services there because many OBGYN offices they usually don't take Medicaid. So those patients usually would come to Planned Parenthood or would go to other federal qualified health centers. So in Planned Parenthood, you could get your pap smear, you could get your mammograms, you could get your clinical breast exams, and get taken care of. Another service provided is sexual transmitted infection screening. You could get checked for gonorrhea, chlamydia, trichomonas. You could also get examined for genital herpes. You could also get tested for HIV and syphilis. And you could also ask questions about other sexual transmitted infections such as the human papillomavirus. And there are other less known sexual transmitted infections like chancroid and other things that you could definitely see one of the providers there for. The third thing your Planned Parenthood could do for you, if you have any sort of breast problems, such as you're feeling a lump, such as breast pain, breast tenderness, milk discharge from the breast, you could definitely see a provider at Planned Parenthood who would do an accurate workup to guide you and do a workup to know exactly what your problem or what is going on with your breast problem. And for the most part, they would start the initial workup, and let's say if you found a lump and it's suspicious of malignancy or there is a more problem that Planned Parenthood cannot handle, you would definitely get referred to a breast specialist. So at least you're getting the workup done there without waiting or not knowing where to seek help, especially if you don't have any insurance. You could definitely go to a Planned Parenthood. The other services, people usually would go to Planned Parenthood for other gynecological problem. So if you have problems with abnormal vaginal bleeding where you're bleeding so much, you have irregular periods where your periods don't come often, they don't come every month. If you have problems such as incontinence where urine is leaking from you, if you think you have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, there's like various amount of gynecological problem, battling cyst, abscess in the vaginal area. Someone in Planned Parenthood can definitely see you and make an accurate diagnosis and do a workup to treat you. Those services are provided there too. Most of you don't know this, but Planned Parenthood does provide gender affirming care, and this is geared to people who are transitioning from male to female and also from female to male. You could definitely be started on hormones to help you transition into the gender that makes you more comfortable. And Planned Parenthood would do the initial workup, they would do your intake, they would do the lab work necessary to make sure that you meet the criteria and that these hormones will sit well with you and would be internalized in your body, and where you wouldn't have any issues. So the services are provided in Planned Parenthood. Another valuable service I thought they provide, they do what we call PrEP and PEP. PrEP stands for Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis. So this is for people who have multiple sexual partners and or males that have sex with males, and they want to prevent transmission of HIV and reduce their risk. You could definitely come to a Planned Parenthood and the necessary workups will be done, and you could be started on the medication that you need to prevent HIV transmission. The other one I talked about is PEP, that is post-exposure prophylaxis. Post-exposure prophylaxis involves if you had a one-night stand or you were unsure of a partner and you were afraid that you could have contracted HIV, or you shared a razor, or you use you're a drug user and you're unsure about sharing needles. Once you have an exposure and if it is within 72 hours, you could go to a Planned Parenthood near you and they could start you on PEP, post-exposure prophylaxis, to reduce your HIV viral load, supposedly, if you did get exposed to the virus. And if you did not get exposed to the virus, it could still protect you. So, a Planned Parenthood near you can talk to you more about the services. The other valuable service that I thought a Planned Parenthood provide is abortion. I am a champion for women's health, reproductive rights, a woman doing what they can with their body. So they provide abortions, and yes, that is what is out there. That is what the media makes it about. When people think about Planned Parenthood, they literally think that people are in there literally doing abortions all day, every day, tearing babies away from abdomens and stuff. But that is just one tiny component of the services they provide, and they are not different from OBGYN offices, health hospitals. Hospitals do abortions. If you don't know that, check on that. They do abortions too. And for some reason, you don't hear about hospitals in the news providing abortions. For some reason, Planned Parenthood is the poster child of abortions. I mean, you know what? It gets business to them, and whatever gets into a Planned Parenthood gets into a Planned Parenthood. Of course, Planned Parenthood, they are champion of women's rights, so they do provide all forms of contraception. And check this out. When you go to Planned Parenthood, for example, I've had IUDs throughout my life. Well, not really throughout my life, but I think I've gotten one since 2013. I know the first time I got it from an OBGYN provider, the visits usually, it involved, they would schedule me for a visit. They would have to call my insurance to know if they will have to pre-approve my IUD. But getting a IUD in Planned Parenthood, there is no pre-approval. Pretty much everything can be done on the same day. You come in, you want the birth control, they would give it to you, they would put it in the same day. And I just think that's great, because not a lot of offices would do it like that. Sometimes they require you to come in. They say it's a procedure, so they can't combine it with any other visits. But in a Planned Parenthood, you get your history taken. Someone makes sure that you are eligible for a specific birth control, and you could start your birth control on the same day. I mean, what other great services out there? There are services that provide. You could have early pregnancy confirmation. For example, if you're pregnant and you need some sort of confirmation paperwork in order to apply for WIC or Medicaid services, you could go to a Planned Parenthood. They will run a pregnancy test, give you a printout, so you could have an actual documentation to go get the social services that you need to start your prenatal care and protecting that child. Someone would definitely counsel you on prenatal care and what to do and what not to do. So it's just an easy, valuable way while you wait for an OBGYN person to get you in. A Planned Parenthood can get you in faster, and you could get the confirmation that you need. They could also do early pregnancy dating, just to get you an idea on how far along you are. that services can also be provided if you ask for it and if the provider there is willing to do it. And lastly, another valuable service that Planned Parenthood does. I know when you think about Planned Parenthood, you think about women's health, you think about only women being seen in the clinic. But guess what? They see male patients too. Male patients come in for STI screenings. Male patients come in with problems such as, if they have some bumps in the genital area that you're unsure of. It could be a herpes outbreak. Males do get seen in a Planned Parenthood office. And usually men their care kind of falls through the crack. Women, you may have a primary care provider, then you have an OBGYN, but most males may have a primary care provider, but they don't really have specialists that deal with the male parts, except the urologist. And people that usually see urologists are like older men in their 50s or their 60s, like younger men don't really see a urologist unless there's a big issue there. And sometimes to go to a urologist, you will need a referral. But if you go to a Planned Parenthood near you, a provider would see you, at least make an initial workup, and can run a quick STI screening, can do a quick genital exam. And I only say genital because most of the providers there are trained in women's health, or they are nurse practitioners, and their area of specialty may not be in men's health, but they do know some things that they could help to do a workup to help you. And if the problem is out of their scope, they could give you the referral that you need to use to go to a urologist. So I bet you didn't know that. Well, now you know. Okay, everyone. Now you know the 10 things that a Planned Parenthood near you can do. And you could go on their website to check out more information. And I hope you are educated to know that there are services provided for you, especially if you are undocumented and if you pay out of pocket. It's definitely a place you could go where they could take care of you, and services can cost really, really less for you. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you later.